The Federal Dropship by Core Dynamics is the third of the medium ships fielded by the Federal Navy, and the least clearly defined in terms of its role. Where the assault ship is an excellent fast attack ship that performs well in AX and the gunship is a slow but sturdy weapons platform, the dropship is considerably more generic, and in terms of stats this makes it distinctly average, with speed just a little faster than the slowest interceptors, and a hardpoint provision sitting between its two sibling ships. The dropship shares its cockpit design with the other Federal ships, and again features a second seat for another commander, though without the ability to launch fighters. In terms of armaments, the dropship features 5 hardpoints, with a large and 2 medium on the underside, giving good convergence for fixed weapons, and 2 medium on the sides of the hull. One key problem for the dropship is thruster power. With very weak vertical and lateral thrusters, the dropship stalls out in orbits extremely quickly, and a low base speed does mean losing a lot of ground when facing down a swarm. Still, the dropship has a lot of internal space, and so can be well armoured, maybe enough to weather the additional close quarters encounters. The Federal Dropship is a difficult to define vessel in terms of combat, but let's see how it fares against the Thargoids. Facing off against the Cyclops first, and with 4 medium Gauss cannons on this build, it doesn't take long to eliminate a Cyclops heart. The dropship struggles to maintain distance in reverse ski, and so engaging the swarm at closer ranges usually follows. The boost timing for the dropship is quite strange, and you cannot rely on lateral thrusters to keep yourself out of lightning range. And even on a successful attacking run, I never felt like I got into a good rhythm with this ship. As with many slower ships, you can get some benefit from engaging the swarm at close range. While the poor thruster performance makes the ship cumbersome, it has no problem in destroying a Cyclops variant interceptor. Next we will face the Basilisk, and here the lack of thruster response really would start to hurt the dropship. Against the Basilisk, I found maintaining position with the Federal Dropship a real challenge, to the point that at the very first heart I needed to exert twice. Federal dropship loses a lot of speed very quickly in reverse ski, and so the Basilisk catches up quickly when engaging the swarm. I decided to go on the offensive with the swarm remaining. Much like the Mamba, the dropship benefits hugely from a good ingress to attack. If you can keep the interceptor from entering evasive maneuvering, the attacking runs are much smoother. The Basilisk is an awkward fight for the dropship, and you may find yourself synthing far more heat sinks than you normally would. But the tankiness of the ship means that while awkward, the Basilisk is not a major threat. Next we face the Medusa, and the Medusa I think is the sweet spot for the dropship's particular capabilities. The attacking runs are not so demanding as to cause maneuvering issues, and the Medusa is not as nimble as the Basilisk, allowing for better control of range. And again, engaging the swarm close is less of a strategy and more of a necessity. I do not think the ship would fare well without flak in the tougher interceptor fights. And with the strange boost timings and pause thruster response, lightning attacks were bound to occur at some point. The dropship can manage the Medusa relatively comfortably. Though it is an awkward ship to fly, the tankiness of the hull can see you through many mistakes. And oh boy, would that be a beneficial factor in the Hydra fight. Here, I decided to eliminate the swarm from the get-go, as with the longer attacking ones needed, I had no doubt they would become agitated and suicide missile. For the first 3 hearts I would be using basic ammo, and things got off to quite a smooth start. The second heart would also fall without any real trouble. But by the third heart, the fight was becoming ever scrappier, with the Hydra taking full advantage of any missteps I made with the dropship's thruster timings. This would be the first of many lightning attacks to come. I didn't want to face an enraged swarm in this ship, and so pushed on with the attack under silent running. While the lightning does not directly damage the hull all that much, It adds up to a lot of damage for the power plant, potentially resulting in temporary power outages during combat. And when Heart 5 needed re-exertion, it would finally result in an enraged swarm. The missile attack had taken out 3 of my ghost cannons. This would need a lengthy repair time. And with a poorly coordinated attack run, I just had to push through and get the heart. But by now the power plant damage was adding up, and power cuts were occurring. Amazingly, I was able to pull away and recover, and the fight continued. and in what had been one of the most difficult Hydra fights I've ever flown, the dropship would finally emerge with the kill. This one was a real battle though. The dropship, I feel, has no major benefits for AX combat, certainly within its family of ships. The assault ship is a genuinely top tier AX vessel, and the gunship, despite its reputation, actually seems to handle better than the dropship. The poor thruster performance just makes the ship very awkward to fly, and in its defense it was never designed to kill Thargoids. But if you are looking for a medium class Federal vessel to kill Thargoids with, use the assault ship. It won't let you down.